We're just gonna do a little bit of a chit chat, grwm.
Hey guys, so before we continue with today's video, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Fanka. Fanka is an online leggings brand that specializes in panty-free, camel toe-free, super stretchy, flattering, and sculpting leggings. There's literally no camel toe at all. Like, no matter how much I pull it up. Their leggings have 24-hour microbacterial protection, and the fabric blend includes a natural protein fiber that absorbs up to 1.85% more body sweat than your average legging. This is their lift and curve legging. As you can see, the band is super thick to have that tummy control. I love the thick waistband. You just feel like all throughout here. These have high compression, they lift your bum up, and of course provide you with that tummy control. Their fabric also offers a stretch recovery rate of 75% to 95% versus your average legging, which is only about 65%. They are double-sided, so they have a print on the inside and then they're just plain black on the outside. And the waist is guaranteed to stay up, so you don't have to continually pull it up. These are their Beyond Nude leggings. These are so comfy. They're like sculpting, but I feel like they're leaving room for my butt. Both of these are soft, y'all, but this one especially is so soft. These have underwear built into them. They're very lightweight and they have a 4-way stretch, which means they're super stretchy. They source the highest performance fabric, so these leggings are so great for active wear, for those hikes you go on during the summer, for the gym, the yoga, everything. They're just so stretchy yet lightweight and really move with your body. Also, the packaging is so cute. This little pink bag, and then it has all the information on the end. And their whole mission is just to bring apparel to the next level in performance and wear and comfort and everything. So I will link Fanka down below. I will link where you can get these two leggings specifically as well. I think you guys should definitely check them out if you're looking for some new sportswear, and they really just go above and beyond with the product. So thank you so much to Fanka for sponsoring today's video, and let's continue on with the rest of it. We're just gonna start out with a little makeup. Beverage check, y'all. So I have my venti cold brew with cold foam. Starbucks everywhere. All the Starbucks near me have been out of oat milk for like weeks. I think there's a shortage, but why does Dunkin' have oat milk then? It's right next door. I'm turning 24 this week. It's just kind of weird. It's kind of like a whatever age, but it's weird because I never really felt 23. Like, I remember at 21 just being kind of like, thank God I can drink. I can go places, go more places with my friends. And then 22 was pandemic and it was just kind of like whatever. And then 23, I never really felt 23. And it was weird because like even my parents just kind of already thought I was 24. It was weird. Also, it's weird because I still feel young. Like, I'm in my lower 20s still. It's kind of the last year of that, I guess. It's weird as you get older how people younger than you start to, like, I don't want to say have their shit together, but like low key. If I think of someone younger than me, I think of them like not being allowed to have a phone, but that's like no longer the case. Let me know if you guys like this top. I don't really know if I like it. I don't know if I like the color. So I wanted to share some things that I've learned in my, I guess I'm turning 24, so this has been my 24th year, so I'm starting my 25th year. So I guess I wanted to share some things that I've learned. Ew, so I'm basically like 25 now. That's weird. And this is not things I've learned in my whole life. This is specific to this year. Realizations, things I've learned this year. Number one, I wrote a few things down. Just leave. If you're not having a good time, you can just leave. What a concept. I know a lot of the times it's like I just felt like I would have to see something through, or like I didn't want to be rude. And this was the first year that I really tried. You kind of want to have hope sometimes. Like if a night's not working out, maybe it'll get better. And I guess it's a little FOMO too. Like, what if it gets good once I leave? But if you just know something's not going to work out, it's like, just leave. If you get an inkling, me to myself, if you get an inkling that you need to leave, just leave. Also, I just feel like this year, a lot of the times I've tried to go out, it just hasn't hit the same. And I've talked about that on my podcast. Some shit used to be so fun. A lot of shit just feels, I guess, overrated, but just like the same shit. Like, okay, at this point, you know what to expect. Is that just getting old? Like, I don't know. My eyebrows are so uneven, it pisses me off. I don't want to make them too dark. But yeah, so just leave. Let me know if you've ever done that. Another thing I've learned just kind of in that genre is how to drink, in the sense of how to drink responsibly. I knew a lot of this before, but I think just with time and wisdom, it just becomes a habit to you. Like drinking responsibly and just learning like the hacks. Drinking a water in between each drink. I just remember the first time I really did that. Like I was out for a different friend's birthday and we were at this little like club. I just really made it, like there was a little water cooler. I made it a priority to like basically be chugging the water the whole time. Yes, it was annoying because I had to pee, but bro, for the amount that we drank that night, I woke up and felt like amazing. Like I was like, wow. And then from then on, I really just realized like, wow. Also just being more mindful of drinking, and I know for a lot of people this is the case. You have those first experiences, you don't really know your limit, you don't really know the vibe, and I think now just being a lot more aware of like how I'm feeling, like being mindful of that, you know, like okay, I feel good now, let me not have another one. I saw a TikTok that was like, why does 2 drinks with your parents equal 4 drinks with your friends? And that is so true, bro. This is a real throwback foundation. I've had this forever. This used to be my go-to, but I recently have just like kind of started using it here and there. But I low-key forgot it's kind of nice. Like it's not as thick as I thought it was gonna be. It's like fine, actually. So another thing I've learned is to be mean in quotations. It really comes down to like setting boundaries and speaking up for yourself, but sometimes it can just feel like being mean, especially to guys. Just saying like no, basically. And if you listen to my podcast, you know I've talked a lot about like good girl syndrome and just how a lot of us are socialized to be polite, like overly polite and nice and whatever. I guess the realization is like there's a difference between being kind and being nice. Nice is very like low-key fake and just like to please others, versus kindness I feel like is more genuine and like you're putting your own needs first, so sometimes it doesn't feel very nice. People say that about the coast, like oh, people in LA are nice but they're not kind, but people on the like in New York or on the East Coast are like kind but they're not nice. Someone invites you somewhere you don't want to go or you can't go. Being nice would be like, I don't want to be mean, I want to be nice, so I'm gonna tell them I can go, and then like I don't know if I actually can, but being kind would be like just being honest, even if you're potentially hurting their feelings in the moment. It's like at least you're being real, you're being honest, and you're putting yourself first. I wish I had one of those faces where I could just do like, I just do a little bit of concealer, like liquid blush and like mascara, and I just like hit the road. It's like my face would look so fucked if I did that. Like bro, the texture, oh my god, I could never. Also I hesitated even bringing this one up because I feel like I talk about it so much, again, like on my podcast or even in vlogs, but trusting my intuition and just kind of realizing that my intuition has never really been wrong. Like if I get a feeling that like, I don't know, a guy's a player, or like, oh, these people are talking about me when I leave the table, I'm always right, bro. Like I'm always right about that kind of shit. And I feel like most of us are. Like if you're getting a vibe, it's like for a reason. I mean, yeah, like some people have more anxiety than others, some people like whatever, but it's like in general, little vibes like that, they don't lie. So just learning to trust that, and I just really hope to become quicker at realizing when I'm catching a little vibe. So I'm the type, let me know if you can relate, but I'm definitely the type of person to like need time to think about something and like reflect and then act on it. Like I'm very not someone who's gonna react in the moment, but for some people it's the opposite, you know, they need to actually work on thinking before they speak. So everyone has their battles, but that's been my new voice, the Kris Jenner voice. Let me play the sample clip.
Just having a little drink before my car picks me up.
Just having a little drink before my car picks me up.
Just having a little drink before my car picks me up.
Go, like that's how I want to speak.
Just doing a little grwm before my car picks me up to go to the day party.
Literally though, she was like,
I'm just going to Diddy and Rick Ross's little concert.
Something else I wanted to discuss on here because it's kind of relevant to my life is just like, I guess my current thoughts, changing thoughts on LA as a place where I live. And I just kind of wanted to reflect on my time living here, especially these days with social media. Like I think any major city is going to have somewhat of like an industry. The movie industry, the music industry, the fashion industry, I don't know. And the thing is, I think people just like that in general are annoying to me, like no matter where. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, Ellie's so fake. But like, I think a vibe that is very specific to here, but again, it can be in any like major city, just anywhere in general, especially with social media. But I feel like especially here, bro, people will kind of go to a lot of people will go to any extent to be like perceived as more than they are, more poppin' than they are, richer than they are. I'm mostly thinking of like men, to be honest. So many people just scam, steal, wear fake shit, drive rental cars that they pretend are theirs. And I mean, that's that's been going on forever. But I think that's also part of why I stopped going out a lot of places. Ew, like you're just a liar. You don't really have it like that. It's not the fact that you don't have it, it's like the fact that you're lying about it. Is it an LA specific thing? Low key, it's concentrated here. And part of the thing is like, if a place is known for the industry, it's located here, like it's gonna be part of the experience, you know? So like, obviously there's a difference between like someone who moves from Kansas and thinks like Hollywood's a magical place versus someone who grew up here and knows the reality of it. But it's like, someone who grew up here is gonna be like more used to it and like still surrounded by a lot of shit. So even though it might not be the same, it's like still gonna have an effect, I think. Bro, I wanna live somewhere quaint where I can like walk and like where that's just normal, and it's very not normal here. Like people make fun of you. This is the thing, bro, this is the thing. My friend and I were talking to this guy, and both me and my friend don't drive, so we were like, yeah, like we don't drive. And he was like, oh, like what do y'all do then? And we were like, oh, we Uber. He was like, oh, I bet you guys take the train. And we were like, yeah, sometimes. And he was like making fun of us. Why did we see him on the fucking train? And then like he was like, yeah, like I have 2 cars. I have like, I forget what, it was like luxury cars that he said. And he was like, but you know, I just put them on Turo or whatever, so I just walk a lot too, but I like Uber. Okay, why? Then we fucking see him taking the train. We see him walking into the train station. So it's like shit like that. It's like, you're gonna like judge us. Not that I care about that, because like whatever, bitch. Okay. You're gonna like make fun of us for doing something while you're doing the same thing, and then you're gonna like lie. I just wanted to share some of my favorite memories of living here. This is like from the beginning of time, so some of y'all may have heard some of these before. This is a new and fresh one though. So there was this guy who worked at the club. This was like a few years ago, like pre-pandemic. I wasn't going out a lot then, but definitely more than now. You know, we would say hi to each other, whatever. And then I just remember started posting shit like he had a girlfriend. It's so funny when guys do it, but you know when people are like not posting 2 drinks, but it was like that kind of vibe. Like you're not showing who you're with, but then you're like going on a vacation, doing romantic shit, having a romantic dinner by the beach, but you're just like not posting who you're with. You're not like giving any sort of like hint. So we started posting shit like that, and I was like, this was not ever my crush. This was not like someone I was interested in, but it was just like interesting to see. He would still like be trying to talk to me. His thing was he would always ask me to like go home with him. Like he'd be like, oh, like do you want to come over? Like not super aggressive, but it's like he would ask, and I would just be like, no. And then I remember one time, this was like right before shit shut down for COVID. He was like, oh, like, do you want to come over? Do you want to come over? I was like, no. He was like, well, you just had to say that. You just had to say no. Vibe changed, like snapped. And I was like, okay, whatever, well, no. So then one time I asked him, I was like, oh, like, do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, it just kind of seems like you do from your posts. Like, oh. And he was like, would that change your opinion of me if I did? And I was like, oh, so you do? Great. Or like, there's this other guy. Oh my God, he's out all the time, bro, all the time. Any sort of event, he's there. There's so many bros like that. And he has a whole ass girlfriend. He's the type, this is what I hate, this is so gross to me, like when guys' whole story is just like girls shaking ass, especially when they have a girlfriend. But even if not, like why is your whole story, it's just so ew, like why? Like yeah, it's fine to like post that once in a while, I don't know, I guess, but like your whole story, anytime you go out, it's just some girls shaking their asses, like you're not posting anything else. Ew. So his whole story is always like that. He has a whole girlfriend, and then when I've seen him out, he's just is like talking to every girl sitting on his lap. And then his girlfriend, me doing like a deep investigation, his girlfriend is just like always posting, you know, like girls, maybe you've done it when girls just post like sad like quotes, or like it's time for me to level up as a woman, like tweets on their story. Justin LeBoy, like I don't know, like just that, very that vibe. Does she know? Like why are you with him? He's just another like scammer, like dumb, like I just can't imagine. Like bro, like, do you think you can, I don't get it, do you think you can actually like have a respectable, well, I think that's the thing, like people don't know, like girls don't know that that's like not okay, or just like that type of guy in that kind of environment is not gonna be like a normal person, like a respectable partner, probably with you because you look good and that's it, you know, like, and you probably do stuff for him and like kind of low-key let him cheat, or always taking him back. the night that you were out of town, he was making out with multiple girls and put his head in between a cocktail waitress's breast. Everyone in the house knows, therefore you should too, question mark. So I think it's really true. Like, if you want a boyfriend or just like a respectable partner, you have to go to where you would want them to be. That does not mean you can't meet someone out, but there's a difference between like just someone going out with their friends, whatever, and then like that specific type of guy that just like wants to be seen, wants to like, he's always out, wants to see as many girls as possible. It's low-key like predatory vibes. I think a lot of the time they get away with it because they do have that image of like, oh, they have it together, they're popping, you know, oh, they're the guys buying the bottles, they're the guys with the nice cars, but it's like so often a lie. Another example was this guy who I think was the manager of this bar. He said he owned it. He did not own it. He would like hit on us a little bit. He was never creepy though. It was more so just like annoying. He's harmless, but it's just like, shut up. He would like just make up all these stories. I think I told you guys one time, like a great example is one time he was like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna get the new like Lambo truck. I think I'm gonna go test drive it tomorrow. And I was like, oh, like I knew he was lying. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like I don't have my license. Like when I get my license, can I like use that to take my test? And he was like, yeah, for sure. He never fucking went and test drove it, bro. Like, and then it came out, he got fired, I think, because he was stealing money from the register. He would just like let his friends come in and like basically just like steal alcohol and stuff and like steal bottles. Bro, he like made up this whole story about how he like lived in this like nice apartment. He fucking lived with his mom, and this man was like almost 40. It's sad that people feel like they have to lie. Like if everyone would just stop lying, I think everyone would realize how normal everyone is. I mean, yeah, I can like make fun of a guy like you're fucking lying, but it's like the pressure, you know, from society and just like social media and capitalism. So it's like I understand it, but it's just like, ew, I don't want to be around someone that's gonna lie like that. Like that's not attractive, because the truth is always gonna come out. Like you're gonna have sketchy vibes, or like you're gonna get caught up. And there's just so much of that here, I feel. Again, in any major city, especially these days with social media and just like the amount of flexing and like fake flexing that people do, and like there's just this pressure to keep up and like always have the nicest shit, always have the newest shit, and like celebrity culture and just everything. But you just have to like know yourself, know your worth. My actions been louder than my words. Do what you have to do and be real. Like that's so, I just value that so much more now. If I leave LA, it won't be because like, oh my god, I just realized LA is so fake. It's just like I kind of want something new and fresh. People are going to be annoying everywhere. People are going to be fake everywhere. That's like never really going to go away, especially in this current society. Every city does have a unique vibe, and I mean there's so many vibes in LA, obvi, but like I low-key just want to try living somewhere else, especially somewhere that is more just my lifestyle, like walking, being outside. And I think also just realizing how much shit is just like about money. And this is not specific to LA or anything, but just kind of that industry realization or vibe. Artists hosting at a club, that's not like, oh my god, they just like really wanted to like hang out here tonight. It's like, no, they're like making money, and then the club's making money, or like even just clubs in general, like it's just about money. When you realize like, oh, it's not all it seems. I love High School Musical 3. I love all the High School Musicals, but High School Musical 3, just that vibe of like growing up and life changing and just want to be with you. I've been listening to that song a lot recently, low-key as a joke, but also it's a hit, and also just the message behind it is so true. You know how life can be, it changes overnight. It's sunny then raining, but it's all right. A friend like you always makes it easy. I know that you get me every time. Like that, I'll cry, bro. Not to get like real deep on y'all, but like, I don't know, not deep, but just like real. I don't know. One of my settings for dries. It's like, I honestly feel so often that like, I don't know what like my thing is. And I think in a lot of ways it's a blessing, because I can hang out with a lot of different types of people, a lot of different groups, a lot of different aesthetics, and like fit in or like get along with people or like relate to people. But sometimes it's difficult because it's like I don't know like where I'm supposed to be, like where would my ultimate place be, even just in a boyfriend, in a partner. Like I don't know who my person would be. And I think that's the thing too, like I have friends of, you know, so many different ways of life, which is cool. Like I really like that about myself, that, you know, I'm open-minded. I don't have to have my friends all be the same as me, look the same as me or anything, but it's like not who am I, but I guess it's like what's my thing. And I guess, you know, as humans we're multi-dimensional, and you don't have to like fit in or assign yourself to one category of like, this is the type of person I am, or this is my aesthetic or whatever. Sometimes it's like, bro, how am I supposed to like narrow, like zoom in, like focus, or like how am I supposed to know where to look to like find love? You know, my fear is like someone just popping up on that fire escape. Oh my god, there was a hawk on there the other day, which was cool, but imagine a person. To wrap this up very, very thoroughly, I guess that's why I'm just very grateful for my platform and like the people that fuck with me and who have fucked with me, because I feel like y'all get it and get me. Not that like I don't necessarily feel understood. I don't go through life like, oh, I feel so misunderstood, because like I have friends who get me, but it's just as far as like, it's like, who am I? Like I can fit into the baddie genre, but then I can go be a little like thrifting queen. I don't know, like I'm just so like holistic, and like that's not the best examples. But you know that TikTok trend is like me changing my vibe depending on who I'm talking to, like low-key like that. Like it's like, what do you want me to be? Not that I do that, but you know, it's just like hard to know where to look. So I hope this was enlightening to you in some way. Shout out all the Leo babies, the July babies and the August babies. Let me know what you want to see more of on my channel this upcoming month. And if your birthday is this month or it has been recently, let me know what you learned this past year of your life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love you guys.